Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome back. We are back after a very long, very much needed all-star break week. We have not made a video since our last Devils game over a week ago, but we're back. But we're here, and we're talking about the Colorado Avalanche versus the New Jersey Devils, in which the Devils get a huge win in regulation over one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. So, before we get started on talking about the game, first things first, welcome if you're new to Devil's Den. Welcome on in. We basically are just going over all of the Devils games and talking Devils news and screaming and yelling and sometimes crying and sometimes wanting to blow my brains out watching these guys. But if you're new, welcome on in. Make sure to sub if you're new because we try to do videos for each of the Devils games. So lots of videos incoming. Also, really quickly, we are trying to get to 80 subs by the end of March. If we can get to 80 subscribers by the end of March, you guys are going to get brand new content. In terms of, we might be doing a live show right after the game, where it's basically just going to be getting my live opinions. It'll probably be, probably about 20 minutes to half an hour long, depending on how the game goes. It might be fully recorded. Podcast episodes will probably go for about an hour or so. So yeah, if we can get to 80 subs by the end of March, brand new content will be made available to you guys. So please go ahead, subscribe, like, share the videos. We are at 65. We need 15 more. So now that's done, Devils win 5-3 to the Colorado Avalanche in their first game back since the All-Star game, and they looked great. They looked, oh, I gotta go properly. They looked great. They really did. They looked fantastic tonight. There was a couple of bumpy moments, but hey, you know what? We got the job done, right? A win's a win. 2 points is 2 points in a heavily contested metropolitan race for the wild card. So you've got Pittsburgh gunning it, you've got Washington gunning it, you've got Islanders gunning it, you've got us gunning it, and all these teams are within 3 to 4 points of each other. So we need all the wins that we can get right now. So let's go over this game kind of period by period, and we'll go from there. So, first of all, first period, Devils do their traditional Devils do by letting the opposing team score immediately into the game, and Colorado goes at 1-0 in what very much feels like just the tradition for how this year's worked out. Devils go down 1-0 to Colorado, but don't be afraid, feel no fear, for the Devils come back immediately off a tip, and Chris Tierney gets the credit for the goal, and the Devils are back and tied up 1-1. We get the small hiccup in the first period, but it's not really a hiccup when it happens every game, it feels like. But yeah, we leave the first period tied 1-1, and they looked really sturdy, really steady in the first period after that first goal. Vanacek looks like he has a couple of bumble moments, but again, after that first goal goes in, he looks really steady all the way through the rest of the first period. So does the team. They're being defensively responsible. And we end the first period on a 1-1 tie. And then we go into the second period, and the second period is really where the team takes off. Second period is unilaterally the best period of the game for New Jersey. So we have 2 goals in the second period. We'll get to the third period in a second. We get 2 goals in the second period from New Jersey. So New Jersey goes up 3-1. I believe Bratt has one of them off a amazing 2-on-1 back and forth with Bratt and Jack. He sure had a great night all around. Okay? Who scored the other one? We had Tierney, we had Bratt, we had Marino, we had Holla. Who scored the second goal? I don't even remember who scored the second goal. Doesn't matter. New Jersey leaves the second period 3-1. Going into the third period, Vanacek looked great. Okay? He looked fantastic out there. He was sturdy. He was steady. There was a lot of really good opportunities for Colorado to score, but he kept the door closed, which is all we've been asking him to do for what feels like the entirety of the season. So, we end the second period, and Devils are up 3-1. And then the third period starts. And this is one of those hiccups and speed bumps that I mentioned earlier. So, early in the third period, Colorado scores a really weird goal where there's a little bit of confusion in front. Puck goes behind the net. I believe it's Hughes who's carrying the puck behind the net, and he gets absolutely bodied by Colorado. He gets sent down. Puck skirts out from behind the net to the front of the net. Marino's too busy looking at the hit to notice the puck going the other direction, and Vanacek, also thinking the puck is still behind the net, is looking in the other direction as the puck is shot up and over and into the back of the net, and we have a 3-2 game. And I'm thinking it's fine, it's 3-2, it's all gonna be, oh my god, why does Colorado have the puck again? And within like a minute and a half, Colorado scores again, and it's now 3-3. In the third period, with about 7 minutes and a half, 7.5 minutes remaining in the third period. And I'm here screaming into my fist as I'm watching all of the momentum completely swap over to Colorado. It's 3-3. We've seen it before. We lose the lead. A couple of quick goals. The defense falls apart. Vanacek falls apart. But this time, the Devils recuperate. They take a breath. And they come back out and they do great things. From another great pass from Nico Hischier, John Marino bombs the puck into the net of Colorado. He's maybe 5-10 feet out from the crease, and he just lets a one-time ripper, and it zooms past the Colorado goalie and into the back of the net. We have a 4-3 game with about 2 or 3 minutes remaining. So, about 45 seconds to a minute goes on after the Marino goal. Colorado pulls a goalie, and in the dying seconds of the third period, Erik Haula, from halfway up the ice, shoots on the empty net and scores. New Jersey wins the game 5-3 in regulation, and it's a big 2 points. So, that's the game. New Jersey gets their win, a much-needed win, and I'm going to say it all around, this team looked really good. Again, outside of the quick 2 goals in the third period, except for what feels like the traditional 1-goal deficit at the beginning of the game, I thought Vanacek looked really solid. I thought the D looked really solid. I thought that people really played their roles, were responsible with the puck, didn't make any really big, costly mistakes. The first goal feels a little weird because it feels like it's a goal we've seen before, where the guys go into the corner, New Jersey has it, and instead of going up the boards, up the ice, they instead either pass it or dump it into the middle of their own offensive zone, and Rantanen just picks it up and just roofs it at Vanacek for the 1-0 lead. The quick 2 goals in succession in the third period doesn't look all that great, but if you take those instances, right, and kind of put those to the side right now and look at the game as a whole, I thought the team played really, really great in a really important game to set the tone for the rest of the games upcoming. We know that we can beat teams like Colorado. We know that we can beat teams like the Rangers. We know that we can beat teams like the Bruins. There is no excuse right now for the team not doing well into the future. Remember, we've only got, 30 games left in a really tight wild card race for the playoffs? Remember, from last year, bar's been set. Bar's been set here. They've been playing down here for most of the season. They need to push themselves back up to that standard that they set last year and play a really good, I'd say, the next 30 games to get themselves in a position where they can confidently go for the wild card, but not just the wild card, but even come out into third position in the Metropolitan, which is just totally possible. Because with this win tonight, they're only 3-4 points out of the third position for the Metropolitan. Like, there's totally a race here. New Jersey can absolutely do this, but they've got to string along some wins so that they can carry that momentum into the next couple of games and try to make a real run out of this. So, that is going to be it for me. Like I said, if you're watching this and you enjoyed it and you made it to the end, thank you for staying. And if you're not subscribed, please hit the sub button. If you want the extra content, if you want the podcast, if you want the immediate live shows after the game, please sub. Let's get to 80. And, yeah, I think that's everything, guys. I'm going to head out of here because I have to be up in 8 hours or so to go back to work. But yeah, have a good night, guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Adios.